Like, even if she can't participate in the dancing part of it, she really enjoys the music, and it helps her kind of bond with other kids. So something that could have been like really funny and silly has actually worked really well with her.
Yeah,
So.
that's good. Do you have any other questions?
You should ask Albert some questions too. He's been working here much longer than I have.
Yeah, we probably should.
Make it.
Is there a religious aspect at all here?
I haven't really caught that, but maybe I just haven't been here long enough to really fully grasp that, but I haven't caught that. For like, just working with the kids, like they all have identify with many different religions. So I don't know, I'm not really sure.
Do you think the demographics here at the South Boston club is different than
what?
Like the demographics?
Oh, okay. I think the graphics.
Are different than other like clubs, like Boys and Girls clubs, like in different areas?
Well, did you hear that question? Demographic?
Yes.
Well, you were at the Dorchester club recently, so I don't know how to compare it to other.
Dorchester is about the same as here. The makeup of our club, I would say our kids are primarily Caucasian. We have maybe 20 or 30% African American, maybe 5% Asian. I'm just like making this up based on what I see in the kids. I would say the other clubs, the makeup is different at the other clubs just because they're based in the communities. Right. So that's probably the makeup of the South Boston community, and it's changing. I think Harry, he's our director, he told me that we used to be 0% Asian. So that population has kind of showed up in the neighborhood. But I think, like, I'm thinking of the Yawkey Club in Roxbury. They're pretty much the opposite demographic, so they're primarily African American. Just because we visited there recently. But the other clubs, I'm not sure.
Okay. And we asked her, how did you, like, first find out or get involved with the Boys and Girls Club?
Well, like I said, I just started here in January, and my position here is the inclusion facilitator. So this is something that's unique to the South Boston Club. We have what we call an inclusion initiative, which means we're trying to be better able to include kids who have different, maybe they have disabilities or social needs. So it's kind of a new position. They had somebody over the summer and she left, and so they were looking for a specific person. That's sort of where my experience is and my interests. So when I decided to move here to go to grad school, I found the posting for the job, and that's how I ended up here.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Oh, like, sorry. What do you think are the most helpful or beneficial programs for the kids, either education or socially speaking? What do you think?
Most beneficial?
Yeah.
They all kind of draw on something different. Like, there's fit girls and fit boys, and it's really good because it gets them out moving, gets them talking about how important exercise is, especially in today's society where the number of kids that are obese is just growing and growing. So something like that is really beneficial. I know the girls and the boys love it, but then there's also just homework help in here. That's on a daily basis. It's huge. Generations, which is like our reading program, which some of the kids are enrolled in, they are benefiting every day from that too. I think this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to leave you. I hope that was helpful. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
It was nice to meet you too. I'll tell Albert that he needs to get in here too.
Okay.
If you want.
You can tell the club is kind of crazy. It's like this all the time, even when the kids aren't here. There's a lot going on. I was thinking sports are huge here.
sports are huge.
We have like the gym, and the kids have certain times they can go in the gym, but we also have organized sports teams. So right now they're doing hockey, and they have I think there's 4 hockey teams in our club, so they all play each other, and they just love it. So it gives them something that they feel like they belong to, and they get excited about coming to the club. And then, their mom will say, well, if you don't do your homework, you can't play in the hockey game, so they get their homework done. And then we also have leagues that play the other clubs. So I think like the teens have a basketball league, and they travel to different clubs. So that's good too, because it allows them to get out of their community where they might not otherwise.
How many children are bilingual?
A lot of them. You don't realize that they're bilingual until their parents come to pick them up and they're speaking a different language.
What's the predominant second language that they speak besides English?
Spanish. Yeah, we see that a lot. I wouldn't say the majority of our kids are, but maybe 20 or 30%. That's just a guess.
Yeah. That's perfect. And do you know of any children who have suffered or are suffering from child abuse?
That's a tough question too. I can't say that I necessarily know of one,
Right.
but we see the potential for it. We see a lot of kids who come here because they don't have somewhere else to go necessarily. Their parents are working a lot and things like that, which isn't necessarily abuse, but I'm thinking more of neglect, situations of neglect. And it's hard for the parents in this community. They don't have time, they don't have money, they don't have resources, they don't necessarily know how to be a good parent, so they're kind of doing their best. But you can see it have an effect on the kids.
Do you have like a particular story that has stuck with you since you've been here of a kid or anything like that?
These are hard questions.
Yeah. If you guys want to interview somebody else, Randy is downstairs in the teen center. So if you guys are done, maybe you can walk him down. Is that okay?
Yeah. Let me think about that question. Randy's a good person to talk to
Yeah.
because he's from this community, so he'll kind of give you the other side.